Hey guys, this is Brian with Edge of the Empire Outdoors. Um, Came back at you with another video. I want to thank everybody for all the support that we've been getting. It's been quite unreal. It's only been 2 days since we've started, and we've got quite a bit going on. Definitely appreciate that. Um, Thanks to Eric Robbins Jr., he's a family member. He's actually making us a logo as we speak, I believe. It's going to be pretty cool. He showed us some rough sketches, and it's a deer skull with a turkey fan behind it with some guns crossing each other through it. Pretty cool looking. And he's also working on building us an intro, so he's going to get some shooting videos of us and all that and put that all into an intro for every video we put out there. Today I had something special for you, but due to technical difficulties, 2 times in a row, I decided I was going to do something else, but I'm going to get into that, and I might go back to that a little later on. I actually built an AR-10 today, and I'm very, very happy with it. I basically, I got a stripped lower. I ordered that through Seneca Gun Sports up there near Watkins Glen, and great group of guys to work with. I went up there, told them what I wanted, paid them for it. They ordered it. They had it within 6 or 7 days, and I went up there and picked it up, and it was all mine. Now that is a serialized lower, so it's not an 80% lower or anything like that. And I'm pretty happy with how they treated me, so I'm just going to keep giving some of my business to them. Another local gun shop that I've been very happy with is Scott's Guns and Horseheads. I've bought, for this build, I've been working on buying parts for this build for a little over a year now. I ended up buying the lower spring kit. I ended up buying an ergo grip, and I'll show you all this here in a second. And an All-Star Tactical mag mod. So, being in New York, it's a little bit of a touchy process because there's a lot of negativity against these rifles. But I want to tell you, if you're safe, if you treat your guns with respect, treat other people with respect, there's no reason for these guns to harm anybody. It's just downright wrong of these people to be doing that. And when you're building, there's a couple different ways you can go about building them here in New York. None of them you will be able to have over a 10-round magazine. So you're kind of stuck with 10 rounds, which, I mean, in a 3-gun is a pretty bad idea, I guess, if you got a bunch of targets to be blasting at. But other than that, it's still worth the money. It's still worth the build. It's still so much fun, but it would be a lot funner if you could have a little bit more in your mag. Not saying you can't reload as fast, but it would be a little bit more funner to be able to mag dump on a 3-gun and just keep going. So I'll get into that a little bit. I'll show you the finished product. I'd maybe throw in a couple comments, and if it's something you guys want to see, I'll take the lower back apart, and I will actually go through a whole video for you guys, which I did before, but I lost the video. So here we are. So I had an AR-10 that was Armalite, and I'm not saying, and I'm not putting down Armalite at all, but if you have a family and you want to start grouping your stuff better and you want to start getting farther out there and just making the better shot, as far as money goes, I'd stick with a DPMS. You're not gonna get that Armalite feel, and I gotta say, I've shot in some DPMS SASS's against Armalite SASS's, and I'm very happy with the DPMS platform. So this is the one I built today. I kind of wanted to make a longer range one, so I went with a fixed stock. It's a Magpul MOE. I am here within the short future. I'll be ordering a Luth MBA 2 stock. That's adjustable, and that's in flat dark earth also. So I just decided to pick this one up so I can get this video done for you guys today. But so you got the finished product, but so for this build, like I was saying about your magazine, I got a pistol grip on mine, so you can't have really any evils. So that magazine can't get pulled out no matter how much I push on that button. It ain't coming out. Now they do make a couple different kinds. I think it's Patriot that makes some that you can't push in when it's closed, but when you open the upper receiver and fold it down, you can pull the magazine out and throw a new mag in. That's something to invest in. I got one of those on one of my AR-15s. But with this pin, there's a local company out of Rochester area. We're about 2 hours from them. All Star Tactical. And I ended up buying this locking magazine pin through them. It was a little drive to get up there to Mastodon, but I drove up there, got that pin. I got the buffer tube, the buffer, and the buffer spring, which if you can support your local gun shops, that's the way to do it. I mean, it can be a little bit more pricey at first, but you're gonna feel much better. You're gonna meet some great people, and they'll treat you right. If you decide to spend your money local and you go in, they'll say, hey, I'll give you 20% off this day or whatever. It's good to shop local and not throw your money in other places. So with that being said, really nowhere around here had the upper that I wanted. And as far as AR-10 uppers go, not a lot of places around here really mess with that. I'm not sure why. Because it is a lot more expensive of a build. But I mean, it's awesome. So I'm pretty happy with this build. I don't know compared to the Armalite yet. So once I get out there, I'm going to zero this rifle in at 200 yards. I'm going to see where I'm hitting, how I'm hitting, how close my groups are. And if there's any way that I can tighten this up, tighten the groupings up a little bit more, maybe you can tell me how. But I'll get on there and tell you what kind of grouping I had. And I ended up going with a CMC trigger, 3.5 pound, just for this long range gun. I wanted to try it out and see how much better I can get with it. So as you can see, I got a missing slot up here. That's where this guy will be sitting for now. New York rules although unfair, hopefully we there's a little something going through the works right now. I'm not sure how far it's going to go or if it will go in our area, but they're talking about making our area kind of like subsidized from the city, so we wouldn't have some of those regulations that the city does. There is some that we already don't, but if we could be set aside from all that, and we can, because we're kind of a small area, and a lot of there's not a lot of gun crime around here. It's really, for us around here, it's kind of been more of a pain in the butt, because you don't want to be an outlaw and get in trouble for this stuff, so you kind of got to do the right thing. And with a family, it's not worth getting in trouble for. But it's quite the passion to have. Like I was saying before with the safety thing, that is the most important thing ever. If you have a 22, if you have a BB gun, and you see your kids are kind of getting invested in guns and wanting to learn more about them. My dad pushed the safety thing on me so hard to where when I was younger, thought it was annoying, but he made me not only aware, he kind of scared me of them a little bit. Now, obviously not, because I've got my own way about me, but that helped me tremendously in the respect for these things. They're definitely not a toy. And it's amazing. You can see what these things will do. It's unreal. And I'd like to get more into the long range stuff myself. It all started for me like 4 years ago during hunting season. I was sitting in this bipod. I showed up a little late for the hunt that day, and there's this bipod that you can walk up to on our lease that you don't really disturb any other people while they're hunting. That's the last thing I wanted to do. So I got up in that bipod, and I'm sitting there for a couple hours, and as I'm watching down this gully, I see something that I thought was a coyote come out. Well, I pulled up my rifle on it, and it was a Savage 111 270. I still have it, actually. And I pulled that gun up on it, and it was a decent sized doe. So my dad always taught me not to take a risky shot. Well, I gotta tell you something. I took, maybe at the moment it was risky. I'm happy that I took it, because it has gotten me so much further into this. I pulled up on her. I saw how I knew she was too far out. I haven't really dabbled with the long range stuff. So at the most, at that time, I probably shot, I'm saying at most, probably 200 yards with a hunting rifle. And I knew she was a little farther out than that. So I never passed 100 yards on an animal. So I wasn't real confident in myself, so I probably shouldn't have taken the shot, but I pulled on that deer. All I can remember is that's a long shot, man. You gotta pull up a little bit. So I pulled up about an inch up its back, and then the wind was super crazy that day. Snow was blowing like crazy. I'm guessing it was around 30 mile per hour wind. So I adjusted to that a little bit, not off my turrets, but off of the eye on your scope, and took the shot. And to my disbelief, I took the shot, shut my eyes like, oh, you did not just do that, and then opened my eyes, and there's laying the deer through my scope. And I was so pumped. I could not believe I just dropped a deer at that yardage. And just the feeling I got from it was so unreal. Then my dad calls me, asked me if I took a shot, and I did. So I'm telling him all about it, and I didn't tell him how long it was. I told him I'll call you when I get down to it. So I get walking, and out of the bipod, you kind of got to loop around and go down this trail, and you got it was a long ways to go. So I get about 3/4 of the way there, and my dad calls me. He says, "Hey, are you at your deer?" I'm like, "Not yet, almost." And he started chuckling on the phone. He said, "All right, well, I'll be right there." So he comes walking down the other side of the bank, and I'm down to the deer, field dressing it, cleaning it up. And he shows up. He said, "Holy crap, I thought you were sitting in the bipod." I said, "Well, I was." And just the look on his face, seeing your old man going, "Holy crap, that's a shot." And ever since that day, I can't get away from it. It's one of those things that draw you in. So it's been quite the money taker for me. These guns are a beautiful thing, but also they're like an evil because you want every one of them. So the next video you'll see, hopefully Sunday, me and Thomas will go, since it is getting ready to be spring turkey season. I'm gonna go out and we're gonna shoot that rifle together, get that thing sighted in, dialed in, break in the barrel a little bit. I'll show you some procedures on breaking in the barrel. Get that ready, go through the woods, maybe show you guys some tips and tricks on getting those turkeys to come in and where to look for them and blah blah blah. So yeah, I want to thank you for your time again. Definitely appreciate all the help and support you guys have been giving us. We're definitely going to get a lot better at this. So stick with us. We'll see you next time.